The armed conflict in Mindanao has led to widespread loss of life and human suffering. In March 2014, following years of negotiations, the government of the Philippines and the Moro Islamic Liberation Front signed a comprehensive agreement of the Bangsamoro, which hopes to bring lasting peace and development to after decades of poverty and violence. Across the world, children are the most vulnerable in times of conflict and continue to be killed, maimed, recruited, and used by armed groups. Every year, the UN Secretary General lists armed forces and groups committing grave violations against children, including the use of child soldiers. Parties listed develop an action plan. An action plan is commitment between the United Nations and the armed group that sets out concrete, time-bound steps to stop the violations and lead to the armed group being compliant with international law, removing it from the Secretary General's list. In August 2009, UNICEF led the UN in signing an action plan with the MILF to prevent the recruitment and use of child soldiers in Mindanao despite early challenges in implementation. In April 2013, the UN and MILF signed an open-ended addendum extending the action plan. This was followed by the development of roadmaps setting out 6 benchmarks for the MILF to complete the action plan. This makes the MILF the only non-state armed group in the world that is engaged with the United Nations in implementing an action plan on the recruitment and use of children. As part of the roadmap, MILF Front and Base Commanders hold orientation sessions of all troops on the action plan and the MILF Code of Conduct and Command Orders, which are MILF orders that prohibit the recruitment and use of children under 18 years. The orientations focus on setting out the rules and responsibilities of the MILF when it comes to preventing and addressing the recruitment and use of children, as well as explaining what the sanctions are if they do not comply. The orientations also raise awareness on child protection. Orientations are currently being carried out across all 31 MILF base commands and 7 front commands in Mindanao for Bangsamoro Islamic Armed Forces, commanders and troops. So far, 4,151 BF elements from the 26 commands and 4 fronts have received these trainings. At the end of these sessions, MILF front and base commanders publicly commit to ensure that no children are associated with their respective commands, and that if there are cases, these children will be separated from the commando structure. The MILF has displayed the highest commitment to address the issue of child recruitment and use. With support from the UN, UNICEF and its partners, including BDA, the MILF hopes to achieve compliance by 2016. If it can achieve, the MILF will be internationally recognized for its commitment to protecting children and preventing grave violations of their rights.